Never in a million years did I think I'd become the kind of husband who spies on his wife. But life has a way of twisting you into someone you don't recognize. Let me start at the beginning. My name is Daniel. Emily and I had been married for 12 years. We met in college. She was the girl who laughed too loud at bad jokes and burned every meal she tried to cook. Back then, I loved how messy she was. It felt real. But over the last year, that messiness curdled into something else. She'd come home late, smelling like a perfume I didn't buy her. Her phone buzzed constantly, and she'd flip it over, like it was a live grenade. Our daughter, Lily, noticed too. She's 8, old enough to sense when the air in the house turns thick. One night, after Emily canceled Lily's piano recital for the 3rd time. "Work emergency, baby. I'm so sorry." Lily asked me, "Is Mommy mad at us?" I didn't have an answer. The first concrete proof was a credit card statement, a $400 charge at the Marriott downtown. Emily had told me she was at a client dinner that night. I'd believed her. But there it was, in black and white. When I asked her about it, she froze. Just for a second. A flicker in her eyes like a TV losing signal. "It was a team event," she said, too quickly. "We had to host out-of-town investors." I wanted to believe her. God, I ached to. But that night, I lay awake staring at the ceiling, replaying every odd moment from the last year. The way she'd started working out obsessively, the new lingerie I'd found tucked in the back of her drawer, the way she'd flinch when I touched her shoulder. So I did the unthinkable. I bought hidden cameras, tiny, sleek things, the kind you'd never notice unless you were looking. I told myself it was for closure, to prove I was just paranoid, to stop the nightmares of her laughing with some faceless man. Setting them up felt like carving my own heart out. I put one in the living room, disguised as a smoke detector, another in the bedroom, nestled in the bookshelf. The kitchen camera was the hardest. That's where we'd slow danced to old Motown songs while Lily slept. Where she'd kissed me on New Year's and whispered, "Forever, right?" For a week, nothing. Just Emily working late, Lily at school, and me watching the clock tick. Then, on a Thursday afternoon, the living room camera pinged my phone. Emily walked in with him, Jake, her college ex, the guy she'd once described as a mistake I'm glad led me to you. They were laughing, her hand on his arm. I watched, numb, as he pulled her into a kiss. Not some fleeting peck, a slow, hungry thing that made my stomach heave. But the worst part wasn't the kiss. It was what came after. "I can't keep doing this," Emily said, her voice trembling. "Daniel's suspicious, and Lily, she knows something's wrong." Jake smirked. "Kids adapt. Once we're out of here, she'll forget him eventually." Forget him. I nearly shattered my laptop screen. They kept talking. Jake mentioned the account and how they needed to move faster. Emily hesitated. "What if he finds out about the transfers?" Transfers. I logged into our joint bank account, scrolled back months. Dozens of withdrawals, 5,000 here, 1,000 here, 10, so on there, all labeled home renovation. We hadn't touched the house in years. Jake, I learned, was a financial advisor, a greedy one. The emails I dug up next showed he'd been siphoning clients' funds into shell companies. And Emily? She wasn't just his lover. She was his accomplice. That's when I stopped being a husband and became something darker. I copied every video, every email, every shady transaction. Sent them to Jake's clients, his boss, the SEC. Even his wife, Clara, a sweet woman I'd met once at a charity gala. The fallout was nuclear. Jake was arrested within days. His firm collapsed. Clara filed for divorce, and the news ran stories calling him the Wolf of Wall Street Jr. Emily came home the night his mugshot hit the news. She didn't cry. She screamed. "You ruined him. You ruined us." I stood there, staring at the woman who'd once held my hand through a miscarriage, through layoffs, through losing my dad. "Us?" I said quietly. "You ended us the second you let him touch you." She crumpled. "You don't understand. He saw me. You stopped seeing me years ago." Lily's voice cut through the silence. "Daddy? Why is Mommy crying?" That's when I realized I hadn't just destroyed Jake. I detonated our family. The days after Jake's arrest passed in a blur of silence and slammed doors. Emily moved through the house like a ghost, her eyes red-rimmed but dry. She hadn't cried. Not really. Not the way she had when we lost the baby 5 years ago. Back then, she'd sobbed into my chest so hard I thought her ribs might break. Now, just this hollow anger, like I was the one who'd betrayed her. Lily knew something was wrong. Kids always do. She started wetting the bed again, something she hadn't done since she was 4. When I tucked her in at night, she'd clutch my sleeve and whisper, "Are you and Mommy getting a divorce?" I didn't know what to say, so I lied. "No, baby. We're just figuring some things out." Then came the bank statements. I'd been digging deeper into our finances, tracing every dollar Emily had touched. That's when I found it. A second account under Lily's name. Not a college fund. A secret one. And it was nearly empty. $42,000. Gone. The withdrawals started 8 months ago, right after Emily's high school reunion, right after she'd reconnected with Jake. I confronted her in the kitchen, the morning after I found the statements. She was making coffee, her back to me, shoulders tense. "Emily." My voice sounded foreign. "What the hell is this?" I slapped the papers down on the counter. She didn't turn around. Just kept stirring her coffee, the spoon clinking against the ceramic. "It's an investment," she said finally. "An investment?" My laugh came out jagged. "Into what? Jake's prison commissary fund?" That got her. She whirled around, eyes blazing. "You don't get to judge me. You've been checked out for years, Daniel. You think I didn't notice? You come home, zone out in front of the TV, barely even look at me anymore. Jake saw me. He listened. He stole from us," I roared. Lily's bedroom door creaked upstairs. I lowered my voice to a hiss. "That was Lily's money, her future, and you handed it to some con artist who was fucking you behind my back." Emily's face went pale. For a second, I thought she might collapse. Then her lips curled into something ugly. "You want to talk about stealing? How about you stealing my privacy? Hiding cameras in our home like some sick—" "I wouldn't have had to if you weren't a liar." The silence that followed was thick enough to choke on. Then, from the doorway, a small voice. "Stop yelling." Lily stood there in her unicorn pajamas, her stuffed rabbit dangling from one hand. Her lower lip trembled. Emily rushed to her. "Oh, baby, no, it's okay. Mommy and Daddy are just talking." But Lily pulled away. She looked at me, then at Emily, her little face crumpling. "You're mean to each other." That night, I slept on the couch. The letter 3 days later. The envelope arrived. No return address. Just my name scrawled in neat feminine handwriting. Inside was a note from Clara. Jake's wife, Daniel. "You don't know me well, but I wanted to thank you. I've known about Jake and Emily for months. I stayed because of our son. But after what you did, after exposing the truth, I finally have the courage to leave. There's something you should know. Jake has another child, a 5-year-old boy. His name's on the birth certificate. The mother was a client. I only found out last year. I'm sorry. For all of us." Clara, I read it 5 times. Then I drove to Jake's office. It was empty. The door, locked, the glass walls papered over with eviction notices. Through the gap, I could see abandoned desks, a half-dead plant, a framed photo face down on the carpet. That's when it hit me. I'd ruined him, really ruined him. And part of me, a part I didn't want to acknowledge, had liked it. The ultimatum: Emily served me divorce papers on a Tuesday. She wanted full custody. The reason? Emotional instability and invasive behavior. Her lawyer cited the hidden cameras, made me sound like a controlling psychopath. I hired my own attorney, a bulldog named Martinez, who'd once taken down a senator in a custody battle. "We'll fight this," she said, "but we need leverage." So I dug deeper. Jake's trial was set for next month. Embezzlement. Fraud. The DA was throwing the book at him. Meanwhile, Emily's secret account was looking more and more like accessory to theft. I didn't want to go there. Not really. But when Martinez said, "They'll use Lily against you," something in me snapped. I called Clara, asked if she'd Testify. She hesitated. I don't want to hurt Emily. But Jake needs to face what he did. Then she dropped the bomb. There's something else. Emily didn't just give him money. She knew what he was doing. She helped him forge documents. I have proof. My stomach turned to lead. The truth about Lily. The custody hearing was a bloodbath. Emily's lawyer painted me as a vindictive stalker. Martinez fired back with bank records, the hidden account, Jake's criminal charges. Then the judge dropped the grenade. Given the financial misconduct allegations, he said, I'm ordering a paternity test for the child. Emily flinched. Hard. I hadn't even considered it. Lily was mine. She had my crooked smile, my stubborn streak. But the look on Emily's face. 3 days later, the results came back. Lily wasn't Jake's, but she wasn't mine either. The world stopped when I read the paternity report. The words blurred. 0% probability of paternity, but the meaning cut clean. Lily wasn't mine. She wasn't Jake's. She was a stranger's child, born from a lie I'd never seen coming. Emily sat across from me at the kitchen table, her lawyer beside her, smug as a cat. My own attorney, Martinez, gripped my arm like she thought I might bolt. The air smelled like burnt coffee and regret. Who's Tom? I asked, my voice flat. Emily's jaw twitched. A coworker. From my old job. A coworker. I stared at her. This woman I'd shared a bed with for over a decade. One night? Or was there more? She looked away. That was answer enough. Martinez slid a photo across the table. A man in his late 30s, sandy hair, grinning in a LinkedIn headshot. Thomas Walsh, sales director. Married, 2 kids. He's been served, Martinez said. We've requested a DNA test. Emily's lawyer scoffed. This is irrelevant. Mr. Walsh has no connection to, he's Lily's father, I snapped. The room went silent. The other family Tom Walsh lived. In a cookie-cutter suburb 40 minutes away. Blue shutters, basketball hoop in the driveway, a minivan with a baby on board sticker. I parked down the street, watching his wife carry groceries inside. She was pregnant, very pregnant. Martinez had warned me not to approach. Let the courts handle it. But I needed to see his face, to know what kind of man could unknowingly ghost my life. When he stepped outside to grab the mail, I recognized his smile. The same gap-toothed grin Lily had when she lost her first tooth. My chest tightened. He noticed me staring. Can I help you? I wanted to scream. To throw a punch. Instead, I said, Do you know Emily Carter? His face drained of color. The visit Tom showed up at my door that night. Emily had called him, he said. Warned him. I didn't know, he kept repeating. We hooked up at a conference. One time. She told me she was on birth control. I believed him. That was the worst part. He wasn't a monster. Just a guy who'd made a mistake. Like me. His wife didn't know. He begged me not to tell her. I'll take a paternity test. I'll pay child support. Just let me talk to her first. Lily chose that moment to pad downstairs, rubbing sleep from her eyes. Daddy? Who's that? Tom stared at her like she was a ghost. The custody hearing. The courtroom smelled like lemon polish and sweat. Emily wore a gray suit, her hair pulled back tight. She looked like a stranger. Tom's DNA test confirmed it. Lily was his. The judge adjourned for an hour to review the new evidence. In the hallway, Emily cornered me. You're enjoying this, aren't you? Her whisper was venomous. Tearing her life apart to punish me. I wanted to hate her. Instead, I felt nothing. You did this, not me, Clara testified next. She brought a stack of Jake's emails, showing Emily had helped him forge client signatures. She knew, Clara said, voice steady. She knew everything, Emily's lawyer objected. Overruled. When they played the hidden camera footage, Emily and Jake laughing about starting over with Lily, the room collectively held its breath. The choice. The judge granted me joint custody. Emily got weekends. Tom got supervised visits. But none of that mattered when I found Lily in her closet that night, clutching a photo of the 3 of us at the beach. Am I gonna live with the new daddy? She asked. I knelt beside her, tears burning my throat. You're my daughter. Always. She buried her face in my shirt. Then why does everyone want to leave? The aftermath: Jake got 5 years. Emily moved into a cramped apartment. Tom's wife filed for divorce. Lily started therapy. So did I. Some nights I still check the cameras, not for Emily, but to watch Lily sleep. To remind myself she's real. Last week she asked if she could call me dad forever. I said yes. But when I dropped her at Emily's on Friday, she whispered, "What if mommy finds a new Jake?" I had no answer. Therapy taught me 2 things. Grief isn't linear, and guilt doesn't care about justice. Lily draws pictures of our old house now, the one Emily and I sold after the divorce. She adds 3 stick figures, me, her, and a scribbled shadow she calls maybe mommy. Emily texts me sometimes, not about Lily, about the past. Remember that diner we loved in college? Or I found your old hoodie. Should I burn it? I never reply. But I keep the hoodie. Jake writes letters from prison. I don't read them. Clara forwards them to me, unopened. She's raising her son alone, working 2 jobs. Last month, she sent a photo of the boy. He has Jake's eyes. I deleted it. Tom's a mess. His wife took the kids and moved to her parents' place. He shows up at Lily's soccer games, lurking by the bleachers. She waves at him but calls him Mr. Walsh. Afterward, he hands her ice cream money and leaves without saying my name. The night it all changed. Lily had a nightmare last week. She climbed into my bed, shaking. I dreamed mommy turned into a stranger, she said. And you let her. I held her until dawn. In the morning, she asked, "Did I make you and mommy stop loving each other?" I told her the truth. Grown-ups break things kids can't see. It's not your fault, she frowned. But you broke Jake. The visit Emily asked to meet. Just once. Neutral ground. A park bench near Lily's school. She looked thinner. Her hair was shorter. She didn't wear her wedding ring. "I'm sorry," she said. "Not for the affair. For the money. For Lily." I waited. "I loved him," she whispered. "But I loved you too. Just differently." A squirrel darted past our feet. I thought of the day we brought Lily home from the hospital. How Emily had cried, saying, "She's perfect. Do you regret it?" I asked. "Not the cheating? The lies?" She stood abruptly. "I regret that you found out." The birthday party: Lily turned 9. Emily wanted to host a joint party. I said no. Tom brought a pink bike with training wheels. Lily hugged him, then whispered, "Can Daddy teach me instead?" That night, she asked, "Can people have 2 dads?" I said yes. She nodded. "But you're my real one." The fire: Emily's apartment burned down last month. Electrical fire. She lost everything. When I picked up Lily from her weekend visit, Emily stood in the parking lot, holding a singed photo album. Our wedding pictures. "Take it," she said. "I don't deserve them." Lily keeps it under her bed. Sometimes I hear her flipping through it, crying softly. The question last night. Lily sat at the kitchen table, crayoning a card for Jake's son. "I'm sorry your daddy's gone," it read. She looked up. Did we ruin his life? I thought of Clara, of Tom's kids, of Jake's cell, of Emily's ashes in the wind. "Yeah," I said, "but he ruined ours first." She folded the card in half. "That's not fair." The end: Jake gets out next year. Emily's dating someone, a mechanic from her grief group. Tom's wife let him back in the house, but he sleeps on the couch. Lily's therapist says she'll be okay. Not fine, not fixed, just okay. Me? I sit here typing this in the dark, listening to her breathe on the baby monitor. I don't know if I'd do it again. But I know this. Love isn't enough. Truth isn't enough. Sometimes, all you get are scars and a little girl who still calls you dad. 5 years later, the scars don't fade. They just stop bleeding. Lily is 14 now. She dyes her hair purple, listens to music I don't recognize, and slams doors when I ask about school. Normal teen stuff, her therapist says. But I catch her, Googling Jake's release date sometimes. His parole hearing's next month. Emily married the mechanic. His name's Ray. He fixes motorcycles and calls Lily kiddo. She rolls her eyes but lets him teach her to change a tire. Tom's back, with his wife. They had another kid, a girl. Lily calls her my sort of sister. They meet at the park twice a year. Tom brings Starbucks and asks too many questions about her grades. Clara moved across the country. Jake's son, Noah, sends Lily birthday cards. My dad says yours is a narc, he wrote last year. She framed it. The letter Jake's parole officer calls me. He wants to meet you. Says it's important. I burn the message. 2 days later, a handwritten note arrives. Daniel, I don't expect forgiveness, but I need you to know, I never meant to hurt Lily. Meet me. Jake. Lily finds it taped to our door. You should go, she says. Why? She shrugs. Maybe he'll apologize. Apologies don't fix anything. They don't have to, she says, and walks away. The visit I meet him at a diner off Route 9. He's thinner, his hair gray at the temples. Prison tattoos crawl up his neck. You look like hell, I say. He smirks. You look old. We order coffee. Neither of us drinks it. Emily lied to you, he says. I stand to leave. About the fire, he adds. I freeze. She didn't tell you, did she? The apartment fire. It wasn't an accident. She did it for the insurance money. To pay off her debts. The air tastes like static. Why tell me? He leans back. Because you ruined my life. Figured I'd return the favor. The confrontation, Emily answers on the first ring. Don't, she says before I speak. Did you burn it down? Silence. Then, I needed to protect Lily. From what? A shaky breath. After the divorce, I owed people. Bad people. Ray helped me fix it. Fix it by committing arson? You don't get to judge me. Her voice cracks. You took everything. My daughter. My life. What was I supposed to do? Lily walks in holding her phone. Mom's crying, she says flatly. What did you do? The truth, Lily doesn't speak to me for a week. She stays with Ray and Emily, blasting music through their thin apartment walls. Clara calls. Noah's in the hospital. Asthma attack. Jake's there, pretending to be a father. He bought him a stuffed bear, she says. Like that fixes anything. Tom texts, can Lily come to Sophie's birthday? I ignore him. On day 8, Lily comes home. She sits beside me on the porch watching the sunset. Mom's sick, she says. What? She's got MS, Ray told me. The world tilts. When? 6 months ago. She didn't want you to know. The choice, Emily's in a wheelchair when I see her next. Ray wheels her into the cafe, her hands trembling in her lap. It's not fast, she says. But it's not slow either. Lily stirs her milkshake, silent. Why didn't you tell me? I ask. Emily looks at Lily. I wanted her to have time to hate me less. Lily's spoon clinks against the glass. I don't hate you, Emily cries. So do I. The end. Jake works at a car wash now. Clara lets Noah visit him on Sundays. Tom's daughter calls Lily Sissy. They bake cookies together. Ray teaches Lily to ride a motorcycle. I ground her for a month. Emily loses the ability to hold a fork. Lily feeds her sometimes. Tonight, she asks, will you take care of Mom when it gets bad? I say yes. She hugs me, really hugs me, for the first time in years. 10 years later, the story doesn't end. It just becomes something we carry. Emily's hands don't work anymore. I feed her oatmeal on Sundays while Lily braids her hair. Ray's gone. He left when the MS got bad, saying he wasn't built for this. Lily called him a coward. Emily just smiled. Jake mows our lawn sometimes. No one asks him to. He does it shirtless, prison tattoos glistening, like he's daring me to say something. Lily tosses him Gatorade and says, don't bleed on the petunias. Tom's daughter, Sophie, is Lily's height now. They share TikTok dances and eyeliner tips. Tom watches from the porch, grinning like he's won something. Clara sends photos of Noah. He's in college, pre-law. Irony, she texts. The last fight, Lily brought a boy home last month. His name's Eli. He has a nose ring and calls me sir. He's a mistake, I grumbled after they left. Lily rolled her eyes. Mom said the same thing about you. I didn't sleep that night. The funeral, Emily died quietly. A Tuesday. Afternoon. Lily held her hand. I held Lily. At the funeral, Jake stood in the back. Clara flew in. Tom brought Sophie. Ray didn't come. Lily read a poem. You were a lot of things, Mom. But you were mine. Afterward, Jake handed me a beer. To the mess, he said. We drank in silence. Lily found the thread. They don't know you, she said. Do I? I asked. She shrugged. You're just Dad. The end, we don't get closure. We get mornings, coffee, laundry. Lily's laugh echoing down the hall. Jake's parole officer called last week. He's getting married to Clara. Irony, she texted again. Tom's wife invited us to Sophie's graduation. Lily's making a speech. And me? I'm here. Typing this at 2 a.m., listening to Lily argue with Eli upstairs. Was it worth it? Ask me tomorrow. To everyone who followed this story, you asked if Daniel was right. If Emily deserved worse. If Lily will be okay. Truth is, life isn't a Reddit thread. There's no verdict, no flair to mark it resolved. Just people, messy and flawed, doing their best. Maybe you'd have done better. Maybe worse. But thank you for reading, for judging, for caring about a stranger's mess. Check out my other posts. There's one about Lily's first day of college, and how Jake accidentally set my grill on fire. Spoiler, we're still a disaster. Thanks for watching till the end.